Dolby.
Mr. Dickens? How are you feeling, sir?
Oh, well enough, I think. Oh, dreams, Dolby. Dreams. You know, there's a curiously powerful, as my father might have said, extraordinarily remarkable, yes, even evanescent quality about dreams, which no words can catch.
You're looking better, sir, anyway. Still flushed. You took your medicine. That's good, sir. Now, how about a little champagne and a few oysters? Perhaps LaSalle could bring some broth?
Thank you, no, Dolby. My goodness, Dolby, my dreams have brought me a great fortune.
Oh, people are happy to pay for the greatest entertainment in the world, Chief.
What's that I see over there?
A bottle of Veuve Clicquot, a dozen
No,
of them.
the...
Nearly £3,000 worth of Yankee greenbacks.
What?
Yes, the proceeds from the box office at the Steinway Hall.
3,000?
Yes, and the queue is still around the hall. We'll wait all night. All those doubtful if half of them will get tickets.
Oh, poor devils.
It's a wonderful town, sir. We could play week after week.
Yes, no doubt we could, Dolby, but the strain of it.
Of course.
Still, 3,000 now.
And at least another 3,000 to come.
6,000? How many dollars the pound? 5, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
30,000.
And that's for only 2 recitals, remember, Chief. I mean, the whole tour is gross.
Oh, my dear Dolby, it's El Dorado. It's the cave of Ali Baba. Incidentally, I hope you managed to keep the 40 thieves at bay.
Those villains are making more than we are.
Really? How much?
As much as $10 profit per ticket.
What? Oh, no.
Yes. Oh, it's scandalous. It's absolutely impossible to control. It's the system in this quite shameless city.
Well, never mind, Dolby. Live and let live. Do you know, I think I could put down a few of those excellent oysters now.
Wonderful. But you stay in bed and I'll bring them to you.
No, my dear fellow. I'm as fit as a Stradivarius. As chipper, as they say in New England, as a chipmunk. Do they say that in New England, Dolby? New England. Old England.
Here you are, sir. Mr. Dickens. Oh. Mr. Dickens, are you all right, sir? Mr. Dickens. I think I had better call a doctor. You devil! Stop troubling us, do you hear?
I have my rights, Mr. Dolby.
You have no rights in the matter whatsoever. Get out, sir.
I will speak my piece, sir.
Sling your
I will,
sir.
I won't.
Get out.
I will speak my piece, sir. Get rid of him. What she does here?
It's only one of those damn ticket peddlers in his absurd costume. The villain goes around saying he's the only original Mr. Pickwick. He's at me night and day, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
I invented him. He invented me. And now we plague each other.
How's that, sir? You're looking much better, sir.
I wonder.
No, you are really. I mean it.
Am I dreaming of him? Or is he dreaming of me, I wonder?
Oh, that's too deep for me, Chief. But I'm delighted to see a bit of color back in your face. I am indeed.
Magic, my dear Dolby. You see, like my father before me, I've always relied on magic to deal with a temporary indisposition.
You are a pompous little bitch. I'll apologize. Never will apologize. Oh, Inez, what's going on here? Oh, Mary, Charles has been so beastly. So cruel and so unkind. There, Charles. What have you to say, Master Charles?
I sometimes remembers myself of a young fellow my great-aunt told me of, who, when he stubbornly refused to speak in a manner of behaving badly to his sisters, finished up with his tongue slit. But them was the good old days.
Don't talk to him, Mary. He's not fit for human company.
We must just hope and pray to our good Lord that he's not woken your poor mother from her rest. What she needs so badly, being as she's feeling a little queer today with her headache.
Take me to the kitchen, Mary, and you can tell me one of your lovely stories.
Then I needn't bother to tell you any of my stories.
I hate your stories, Annie Bob and the silly dog. Look there!
What is it? What is all this noise? Can't you spare my poor head? Can't you play quietly?
Oh, Mama, no! Oh, Charles is a beast.
Please, Fanny. You may tell me everything later.
And may I say something too, Mother?
No, you may not. You talk far too much. Mary, away with them.
Right way is a hard way, is a stern way, is a way of duty, is a road of pain, not a primrose path of dalliance, but dolorous, a stony road of penance and contrition. But who would not bear fardels in this world for the joy of the world to come? Who would not walk the thorny path of righteousness rather than the flowered way to damnation? Oh, yes. Hark thee, my brethren. Who would spare the rod only to spoil the child?
No, that young man. What?
For the stones are sharp, they cut thee most grievously. But what is sharper than the knives of the damned? What is hotter than the fires of hell?
Hick, hike, hock, hunk, hank, hock.
Very good, Fanny. Charles.
Yes, Mama.
Hick, hike, hock, Charles.
Beg pardon, Mama.
Wool gathering, Charles. Enough wool to stuff a mattress. Fanny, again.
Hick, no, Mama. I remember now.
Continue, then.
Hick, hike, hock. The keyas is in the lock. The locus is round the key. On gang. Is this a dagger I see before me? Something.
Handle towards.
The handle towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee.
Very good, Charles. I like the gesture on clutch. On.
I have thee not. And yet I see thee still, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which were not there before. There's no such thing. This is the bloody business which informs us to mine eyes.
Excellent, Charles. First class. A little more polish, a few more touches here and there, and I think we shall have it. Don't you think so, John?
Oh, indeed I do. But if you will permit, my dear James, one little observation from one who, like yourself, has always admired the thespian world and would have, in other circumstances, all things being equal, have ventured perhaps, well, not to put too fine a point on it, into that very arena himself. Yes. Well then. Is this a dagger I see before me, the handle towards me heart? Come, let me clutch thee. Huh? I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. I see thee still. No. I see these. Yes?
Inform.
Inform. Inform?
Inform.
Yeah. I see thee still in form as palatable, as palpable as this which now I draw. I have thee not.
I see thee still.
I see thee still. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon, bouts of blood, gouts of blood, and so on. You see, you ought not to put too fine a point on it. Give it feeling, my boy, you see? Feeling. Emotion. Heart.
Great and small, there's ne'er a bargain to lose. And let us sing, there's Billy the King, making the tax of our roots. So let's make to the health of our King.
Gentlemen, I pray you, silence, gentlemen. Gentlemen, the house lights are to be put out. To aid your concentration on a singularly important artiste. Now, gentlemen, there is not, as I say, the slightest cause for alarm. But I crave your indulgence while the house lights are dimmed and the floats reveal your very own, Mr. Charles Dickens.
Here we go now. As I went walking down the street, I heard a fella bellowing, "Catch me!" And the sight I saw before my eyes, I'm telling you no lies, it was surprising. All around his barrow, meowing away, were big cats, small cats, tawny cats, curly cats, and curly cats, Persian grey and stray cats. But the cats meet man with nothing to eat, 'cause the taverns had no money for the cat's meat, cat's meat, cat's meat. A halfpenny a bundle of cat's meat.
Perfect day, Charles.
Perfect stuff.
The skies look down on a great and contented England, and a happy and prosperous Dickens family in its bosom. Our blessed and benign monarch rules over an ever-expanding empire, and the Dickens family mounts from strength to strength. Take me for an example. Will you take me for an example, sir?
I'll be glad to, sir.
Thank you, sir. Well, then, I entered the pay office of His Majesty's Superior Navy on the recommendation of Lord Crewe.
Lord, Governor.
Oh, a great and noble lord, my boy. And furthermore, and not to put too fine a point on it, a very close friend of George Canning.
And who is he, Governor?
Oh, a very important man, my boy, of great prestige and influence. And at that time, no less a person than the treasurer of the aforesaid incomparable and superior navy of our magnificently blessed and utterly benign monarch.
He is good to us, Governor.
Oh, bless him, so he is. And there is better yet to come. Yes, where was I? Oh, yes, starting salary. Starting salary, 5 shillings a day.
Day?
5 shillings, I say. Oh, hold on to your hat, my boy. And hear this. For after 4 years' highly satisfactory service to his blessed and benevolent monarch, your humble servant was the recipient of more than... No, I will not be vulgarly precise, but rather more than £100 a year. Well, may you cheer, my boy. For on this salary, I married your miraculous mother. Took a small but genteel house on the outskirts of Portsmouth, where I was delegated by His Blessed Majesty to pay off his ships in the dockyard there. Of course, Charles, every family has its problems. There were certain Difficulties, huh? I mean, let me not be over explicit regarding, well, never mind precisely who, but certainly no father of mine would have ever been involved with anything resembling by any stretch of the imagination what anyone with a trifle of understanding might call embezzlement.
Embezzlement?
Ah, there, my boy. Let sleeping dogs lie. Your grandfather is in foreign parts, on a far-off isle, and I believe, to the very best of my knowledge, is now highly successful in, something or other.
A foreign isle, Governor? Would it be in the South Seas?
No, my boy. No. The Isle of Man. But back to blither subjects. Take me, for instance. Will you do that for me, sir?
I will, sir.
Well, sir, I think you'll agree that our present house, though smaller and less costly than our previous establishment, is nevertheless an excellent and genteel equipage for a gentleman whose future is quite definitely before him. I don't mind telling you, Charles, as a man to man, that your brother's arrival has been somewhat inconvenient.
I'm sure it has, Governor.
But your own presence, my boy, has been a comfort, eh? A great support to me as pater familias, breadwinner, patriarch, and man about the house.
I'm so glad for that, Governor.
Howsoever, we go on. Income now well over £200 a year. 200 sovereigns, I say. An important position in the enormous dockyards of his benignity at Chatham. Consequently, financial difficulties, entirely a thing of the past. So it's all turned out very well, Charles.
Yes?
And of course, my boy, it always does. You see, something always turns up, provided one maintains a hopeful and open-hearted approach to life and to fortune. Will you always do that for me, Charles?
I will, sir.
Well, then, I see no reason why a young fellow of your ability should not, if he were to be very persevering and work very hard, which, of course, it's no great difficulty, is it, eh? For one of our breed. Well, sir, I see no reason why he shouldn't, in the reign of our blessed and benevolent monarch, come to live in even such a glorious pile as that, sir.
Do you really think so, sir?
Oh, I really do, Charles. Now remember its name, Gad's Hill Place, where Falstaff robbed the travelers. A fine and elegant setting for a Dickens.
as I have so often said before, but I'm only too happy to say yet again. Shall I say it yet again, sir?
Please do, sir.
Thank you, sir. I will, sir. Then let me say yet again, and with heartfelt sincerity, how we are, as a family, singularly blessed. Was ever a man more blessed by helpmate charming? A perfect mother.
Here, here.
An erudite and scholarly lady.
Here,
Here. A very fine and delicate descent and birth.
Oh, dear John. Enough of me.
Oh, never, my dear. Impossible, my love. Now, well, let us press on. Regardless. Where was I? Oh, of course, yes. Is there a happier, a more blessed, a more contented, a more talented family in the whole of this blessed, happy, contented, and gifted land?
No!
Then with no more ado, let me ask you to be upstanding, and to raise your glasses in a toast to the Dickens family. And also, and especially, to Alfred's happy birthday, coupled with the name of our blessed and benign monarch.
To Alfred's happy birthday and our benign and blessed monarch.
And Chips was going to be married to the Corn Chandler's daughter. And he gave her a workbox for a present. And what happens? But a rat jumps out of it. And when he puts his arm round her waist, a rat clung with him. So that was that. And the marriage was broke off. And Chips was broken-hearted and was pressed for a sailor. But the rats followed him, and they ate the ship, and ate the planks, and all the crew drowned and was eaten. All except Chips, who floated to shore with a huge, great, overgrown monster of a rat sitting on his chest and laughing.
That's horrible. It's nothing at all.
Well, that's all I've got to tell you tonight. Into bed, Mistress Fanny, please. And if it's nothing at all, why then you'll have pleasant dreams. And maybe if the devil comes with a good offer to buy your soul, you'll think twice about it, Charles, won't you?
Oh, how I blame myself that we have never seen Naples, my dear.
I forgive you, John.
Well, of course you do, eh? Angel of light. But can I ever forgive myself?
I seen Naples once from a packet steamer.
Oh?
It was very misty and smelled bad.
You see, that's how it seems to those who are not poets, my dear tribe.
Oh, Lord. How I wish Samuel was a poet.
You never said that before, Emily. I never knew you was partial to poetry.
I don't know that I am. But everybody loves a nice young poet.
Oh, what?
Bessie, another jug of punch. Make sure it's well spiced.
Oh, your generosity is beyond reproach, my dear tribe.
No, nothing to the pleasure I take in your company, Mr. and Mrs. D. Your health, coupled with that of our late great patron, Lord Horatio Nelson.
Oh, Lord Horatio Nelson.
Mr. D. Mr. D. He sat in that very chair, sir. Lord Nelson, him very self, sir, sat there.
And maybe the devil comes to buy your soul. You'll think twice about it, child. Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you?
I tell you, my dear chaps, I would have given my eyes rather than miss the sight of Naples Bay in that unbelievable sunset.
You really are a travelled man, Mr. D. A special courier for Lord Nelson, you said you was, Mr. Dickens.
Now, don't ask me to be too specific and all that, my dear boy, I beg of you. Even at this distance in time, the matter is still of the utmost secrecy. I was a mere boy, of course.
Secret matter, was it, Mr. D?
Oh, the most secret. Matter of the heart.
Of course. Sir William Hamilton was ambassador to Naples.
Now, say no more, I beg of you.
And Lady Hamilton, the infamous Emma.
Sir, do not speak that lady's name in such a manner.
I say, what a lark, though. Carrying letters for Lord Nelson from the infamous
For
you know who, Mr. D. Well, you really are a dark horse.
Well, what can I say? I mean, simple matter of duty. Oh, I did what had to be done. Danger of no account. Reward, a lock of the lady's hair.
A lock of the lady's hair? Hold on now, Mr. Dickens. Who gave you the lock?
Lips are sealed. Say no more. Back to work.
Yes, sir. I have business with Mr. Dickens.
Oh? Do I know you, sir?
Hardly, sir, but your domestic Miss Mary Weller knows me well.
Oh, I see.
And you should know me well enough. For as you stand there, it seems to me you have some excellent meat on you.
Well, I failed to get your trend, sir. Now, am I to
I am your butcher, sir.
Oh, well, what? Yes.
And I want my bill for the past 5 months paid. And so do my colleagues outside.
Yes, there's been a terrible mistake. You've got the wrong Dickens.
What?
Well, it's a very large family, eh? Why not? Excellent thing. Can give rise to these misunderstandings, though.
And eat hell of a lot of meat. This here, sir, is a deed, sir. What me and my colleagues has drawn. Totally accounting for all what's owed to us. For domestic comestibles and et ceteras of various kinds. We must ask you to pay somewhat on account. After that, something each week. Meanwhile, our services will be suspended.
Unspeakable. Insufferable.
This here deed, sir, puts it all down very plain. And I think you'll agree, Mr. Dickens. It's better than a wind-up petition in bankruptcy.
Yes. Terrible mistake. Easily explained. No cause for concern. Oh, my God. I therefore have the temerity, my dear Lord Crewe, for the sake of my ailing children, the most precious gift the good Lord has bestowed upon me in my ever happy and increasingly prosperous life to approach you with this request. For the climate in Chatham simply devastates their delicate health. And, if I may say so, Mrs. Dickens, if Mrs. Dickens herself does not entirely bloom in this unfriendly clime, I therefore ask you to earn once again my undying gratitude by bringing your great wisdom, charity, and understanding to bear upon my case with a view to gaining for me a transfer to London. I am, my dear Lord Crewe, your entirely humble and devotedly grateful servant to command, John H. Dickens. Now, what do you think of that, my dear?
Most moving, my dear.
Yes, yes.
But, do you not...
Yes.
Do you not
Yes.
think...
Yes. What?
Might not Lord Crewe opine that the air of London is less benevolent than that of Chatham?
Now, let us not be pettifogging in this matter, my dear.
If it is pettifogging to ask a reasonable question, my dear, then I prefer not to be consulted upon the matter at all.
My dear, I will think on it further. but the essence, my dear, I mean, the essence. What do you think of the essence?
Oh, John, we've been so happy here.
We have. We have.
What are we doing today, Governor?
Ah, today, my boy, we shall engage in an exercise necessary to all gentlemen who risk the occasional outrageous blows of fickle Lady Fortune. Today, we shall attempt to raise the wind.
Raise the wind, Governor.
To get our ship, which is temporarily becalmed, as a result of a completely incidental pecuniary embarrassment, to glide out of the shallows into happier depths.
Are we becalmed, sir?
Well, every great ship may well, from time to time, suffer, not of its own fault, but from the caprices of Mother Nature. When there is no wind, the great sails hang useless.
Then we must indeed raise the wind, sir.
Exactly, my boy. We shall do it together. Now, our cousin Huffam is mightily taken with you, and I think 2 or 3 verses of the Cat's Meat Man, might well meet the ticket.
Am I to sing for my godfather?
Like a bird, my boy, like a bell, my bird. You shall entrance with your amusing comic mannerisms 2 or 3 golden sovereigns out of the old miser's pocket, eh? Then once again the wind will catch our sail, and our ship will glide into deep, white water. Bye, Orphy. My boy, I've been thinking, given Cousin Hufham's a predilection for the sea, I think you might well introduce the hornpipe into your act, eh? I think it would appeal.
Governor! The hornpipe is never in the Cat's Meat Man.
Oh, well, needs must when the devil drives, my boy. Now, just put it in ad lib, eh? As well as you can. Will you try?
I will, sir.
Well, of course you will, eh? Old trooper, here we go. 1, 2, 3. As I went walking down the street, I heard a fella bellowing,
Cat's Meat.
and the sight I saw before my eyes. Bravo, bravo. Thank you. First rate. Thank you, top flight. Don't you think so, Cousin Huffam?
The hornpipe were good.
Good, yes, I should say it was good.
You get back to work, Elise, it's fine.
That's as good a rendering of the hornpipe as I've ever seen.
Good lad, Charles.
Thank you, sir.
Here's something for you, lad.
Oh.
The hornpipe was good, but your rigging was a bit sloppy.
Ah, now remember, Charles.
Get it sharp.
Sharp, my boy.
Good to say the man is sharp and precise in his motion.
And precise, you see? Now keep it sharp. Now, well, you see? There, your godfather's showing you the precision, you see, and the hand, you see, on the rigging. Very sharp and precise, Charles, eh? Very good. Very good, Charles. Now, your godfather has taught you something you will never forget. Now, my boy, you find yourself a quiet corner and rehearse, eh? You see, endless rehearsal. The only secret of perfection.
Yes, Governor. Thank you, Godfather.
Good lad.
Good, good, good. Things are well with you, I see, cousin.
Well enough, John.
Good, good, good. Well, things are extraordinarily good with me, too.
Oh, glad to hear it, John.
Yes, I don't mind telling you, as a very close and very specially favored relative, eh? Not to put too fine a point on it, that I'm expecting the most amazing things to turn up at any moment.
Glad to hear it, John.
Yes, well, I don't mind telling you, since you asked me, but on your hat, cousin, what? You understand me?
Yes, I think so, John.
Well, in that case, I've only got two words to say to you, and that is Somerset House.
Indeed?
Oh, an appointment of the highest secrecy. Greatly improved social position, of course. Certain expenditure necessary on my part. Never mind. Great things ahead, I have no hesitation in saying. I mean, after all, Lord Crewe. Need I say more?
Sounds very promising, John.
Well, I'm glad you think so, cousin. I value your opinion no end. Of course, you know, certain expenses necessary, you see, moving a large family into the great capital of the world.
Expenses, eh?
Yeah, well, I knew you'd understand, cousin. 5 sovereigns should cover it. Even 4. Say 3, cousin.
Maybe, 2.
Ah, the precise sum required to ease this purely temporary pecuniary embarrassment.
I know that Mr. Dickens is party to a most important conference at the Navy Office today. Perhaps you would care to call tomorrow, when I could be certain that Mr. Dickens would be here. Come to think of it, I believe Mr. Dickens did say that he might have occasion today to visit one of the ships. And if that is the case, well, you know how long these ship visits may take, sir. I do declare they drink more toasts on such occasions than any other business. But that is the way of naval gentlemen. Is it not?
It were better for all parties concerned that I discharged my duties today, Mrs. Dickens, for every day brings us nearer to the point of no return.
What's Mother saying? Didn't quite catch it.
Don't talk much, do you?
I went
Here comes
walking
Father now.
down
You'll soon
the
get rid of
street.
him.
I heard a fella bellowing.
Cats. Mom,
Cats.
I don't just advise Mr.
Pray
Dickens of
don't
your
bother
presence.
yourself, ma'am. He will discover me soon enough.
Ah, my dear, my very, very dear. You cannot imagine the most extraordinary things that are beginning to turn up for us. I don't think I have the pleasure, sir.
Mr. Dickens, I presume? Maitland, Mallinson and Maitland. I am the second Maitland.
Oh, and to what do I owe the pleasure, sir?
I shall leave you gentlemen to your business.
Thank you, my dear. Ah, perhaps a glass of cordial for Mr.
Maitland, thank you, sir, no.
No cordial.
No, thank you, ma'am.
Come along, Jim.
Mr. Dickens, my firm has been briefed.
Mr. Maitland, I'm sure I can give
Please
you
let
an...
me state my business, Mr. Dickens.
Well, as you please.
My firm has been briefed by a considerable group of local commercial interests to advise them as to their best means of redress against you, sir, in the matter of a not inconsiderable debt.
Ah, paltry tradesmen's bills.
Amounting, sir, to a not inconsiderable sum. And in any case, I would point out that in law, to owe 6p or £6,000 is equally culpable.
Do you say so? Well, in that case, one might as well owe more and more and more.
Not in this town, sir. Now, sir, my clients bring to my attention two factors. Firstly, that you are behind in your payments under the terms of a certain deed. Secondly, there is hearsay that you have the intention of moving from this vicinity. How do you answer to this, sir?
I answer that, sir, that I am a free-born Englishman, a loyal subject of His Blessed Majesty, and I am not, sir. I repeat, not on trial.
Let us be more precise, sir. You are some 32 shillings in arrears on your weekly payments under the aforesaid deed. What of that, sir?
What of that, indeed, sir? A mere bagatelle. Take your 32 pieces of silver and leave my house forthwith.
But if you could pay with such ease, sir, why these delays so worrisome to my clients?
Do you seriously imagine, Mr. Second, whatever your name is, that a man in my position of trust and secrecy, a man engaged on matters concerning the security and the survival of this great nation of ours, do you seriously imagine, sir, that such a man has time to consider how worried a parcel of tradesmen and their legal dogs may be over a handful of miserable coins? Take your money, sir, and be gone. And don't trouble me again without an appointment, or Lord Crewe, will wish to know the whys and wherefores of a second someone or other from a certain scratch-pen wormit and scratch-pen nest of legal rats somewhere in the bowels of Chatham. Good day to you, sir. Open sesame.
It was a famous victory again, Governor.
It was.
We shall do well in London.
We shall.
Let me just say 2 words to you, sir. Somerset House.
Somerset House it is, my boy. At £186 per annum.
But that's less than here, isn't it, Governor?
But often high places carry low rewards. The assumption being that the gentlemen who take those positions do so for honor and already have comfortable private incomes.
Oh, well, the difference is not so great.
Earnings £1, expenditure 19 shillings and sixpence, result happiness. Earnings £1, expenditure £1 and sixpence, result misery. The difference, my boy, is no greater than the short walk between heaven and hell.
Don't worry, Governor. We can always sing to the people, and they will clap and give us lots of money. What's the matter, Governor? We're not downhearted, are we?
We are not, sir. I've said it before, and I shall say it again. Shall I say it again, Charlie?
Pray do, sir.
Very well, sir, I will, sir. I shall say it again and again and again and again. Was ever a man, was ever any man, was ever a man more blessed? Oh, my poor boy. My poor, lovely, bright, untarnishable, tragical, comical boy was to become of us.
Try and drink this, Chief. Come on, sir, give it a try.
It's Dolby. I thought you were Pickwick, Dolby. Or was Pickwick you? Or are you both me? And who would you estimate I am, generally speaking? As of this moment, not to put too fine a point on it, but offering a frank and unbiased opinion.
I didn't quite follow that, Chief.
No, of course not.
Some little dream, was it? Here, take this now. There's a good man.
Yes, you may say that's what it is. I think you have it at last, Dolby. Some little dream.